He might whistle while walking his dog, wave to neighborhood kids, or mow his lawn every Saturday. But behind a locked door, someone stopped breathing. These aren't campfire tales. Serial killers blend in, and one of these 5 monsters could have been your neighbor. April 25th, 1971, Southeast Washington, D.C. 13-year-old Carol Denise Spinks ran to the 7-Eleven. She never returned. Days later, a hitchhiker found her body off Interstate 295, strangled, assaulted, shoes missing. A neighbor recalled her talking to a man in a car. No leads. Carol was the first victim of the Freeway Phantom. 2 months later, 16-year-old Darlenia Denise Johnson vanished en route to a job interview. Her body, found on I-295, mirrored Carol's fate. Same cause of death, same violation. Shoes gone. This time her body was left exposed. A taunt to authorities. A serial killer was hunting D.C. streets. July 27, 1971. 10-year-old Brenda Faye Crockett disappeared on an errand. That night, her family received 2 chilling calls. Brenda, terrified, said a man took her to Virginia. "Did my mother see me?" she asked in the second call before the line went dead. Her body was found the next morning off Route 50, barefoot, strangled. Detective Romaine Jenkins, one of the first female homicide detectives, took on the case.
I was born in Washington, D.C., Northeast. I was a neglected infant. My grandparents took me in because there was no one else to care for me.
Starting in 1965 with the Metropolitan Police, Jenkins was driven to protect the vulnerable. A note found in victim Brenda Woodard's pocket read, "This is tantamount to my insensitivity to people, especially women. I will admit the others when you catch me if you can." Jenkins believed the killer was a black male in his 20s, possibly a Vietnam veteran with military training. The Phantom killed 6 black girls aged 10 to 18, discarding their bodies along D.C. highways, always without shoes. Theories pointed to a cop or someone familiar with police tactics. Bleeds a green car. A suspicious offer fizzled. Then the killing stopped. Did he move on? Get locked up for another crime? Die? Or is he still out there blending in? Detective Jenkins retired in 1994, but the cases haunt her. "Not a week goes by that I don't think about those girls," she said.
Parents have died not knowing who killed their kids.
It has been 16 years since the remains of 11 women and an unborn child were found on Albuquerque's West Mesa.
At the edge of Albuquerque, where the city's glow fades into the vast desert, a hidden graveyard lay buried beneath the shifting sands. No one heard the victims' final cries, lost to the wind. No one saw the methodical digging under cover of night. No one knew they were missing, until the desert surrendered its chilling secret. The killer, responsible for this horrific violation, vanished without a trace. He could be among you now, an unremarkable face in traffic, concealed in the rhythm of everyday life. February 2nd, 2009. Christine Ross and her dog Ruka walked a familiar trail on Albuquerque's quiet west side. Ruka's curiosity led to a disturbing find, a bone protruding from the dry earth. It didn't look animal. Its shape and size felt wrong. Uneasy, Christine snapped a photo and texted her sister, a nurse. The reply confirmed her fears. It resembled a human femur. Christine called the Albuquerque Police Department. Officers arrived and their initial assessment was grim. The bone was human. The trail transformed into a crime scene. Excavation began, each shovelful unearthing a deeper tragedy. First one body, then another, until 11 women's remains were uncovered in shallow graves, a silent testament to unspeakable loss. The media named him the West Mesa Bone Collector, a title evoking the cold precision of his crimes. Yet the man behind the name remained a phantom. The victims were mostly young women, many involved in sex work, but they were also daughters, mothers, sisters, real people with dreams and families. Some vanished just blocks from home, swallowed by the city's shadows. The killer's burial site was chillingly strategic. The isolated plot, once slated for a housing development, was left untouched after the 2008 housing crash. Had the market not collapsed, The graves might have been paved over, hidden beneath suburban streets. Their discovery was a twist of fate, a grim accident that exposed a predator's work. Among the victims was 15-year-old Jamie Barella, born in September 1988, a vibrant teen with a future full of promise. To her family, she was simply Jamie, a beloved daughter and friend. Unlike many victims, Jamie showed no ties to sex work or addiction. Her life was rooted in family and hope. In April 2004, she attended a family gathering with her cousin, Evelyn Salazar, 27. The cousins, close despite their age gap, decided to walk to a park near San Mateo and Gibson in southeast Albuquerque. It was a casual choice, a moment of sunshine and laughter. But Jamie and Evelyn never returned. Their families endured years of agonizing uncertainty until January 2010, when DNA confirmed Jamie's remains were among those unearthed. The other 10 women shared a haunting vulnerability. Many worked in the sex trade along West Central Avenue, a corridor marked by instability and marginalization. This lifestyle likely made them targets, women whose absences might not immediately raise alarms. Investigators wondered, did the killer prey on this vulnerability, or was he an opportunist, striking when chance allowed? The West Mesa Bone Collector's methods were chillingly deliberate. Over several years, from 2001 to 2005, he abducted and killed 11 women, burying them in one secluded location without detection. This required knowledge of the area, access to transport, and a terrifying patience. The discovery rocked Albuquerque, shattering its sense of safety and exposing a predator who had operated in its midst for years. The Albuquerque Police Department has kept the case active, chasing countless leads and retesting evidence with new technology. Did he stop killing, relocate, or does he still walk the city streets, blending into the ordinary? The question lingers, a chilling echo of 11 lost lives in a city forever changed. It began with a desperate 911 call in May 2010. Shannon Gilbert, a 23-year-old escort, vanished from the quiet Oak Beach community on Long Island. Her disappearance sparked a search along the desolate sands of Gilgo Beach, revealing a horror far beyond imagination. In December 2010, police didn't find Shannon, but uncovered the remains of 4 women: Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, Amber Costello, and Maureen Brainerd Barnes, dubbed the Gilgo 4. All were young sex workers who advertised online, their bodies wrapped in burlap within a quarter-mile stretch. By spring 2011, 6 more sets of remains were found across Suffolk and Nassau counties, hinting at a predator hunting in the shadows of suburbia. For over a decade, the Long Island serial killer stalked, killed, and vanished, leaving a trail of unanswered questions. He operated in plain sight, blending into communities of white picket fences and manicured lawns, his victims' marginalization as sex workers aiding his anonymity. Shannon Gilbert's case ignited the investigation. After meeting a client in Oak Beach, she fled in terror, seeking help from neighbors before disappearing. Police initially dismissed her absence, but her mother, Mari Gilbert, relentlessly pushed for action. "I will fight non-stop until I bring my girl home," Mari vowed. Her pressure led to the grim discoveries along Gilgo Beach. In December 2011, Shannon's remains were found in a marsh near Oak Beach. Authorities called it an accidental drowning, but Mari rejected this. The killer's victims were often overlooked, their transient lifestyles delaying alarm over their disappearances. Tips were scarce, vague vehicle descriptions, uneasy encounters with a John. Some women shared stories of close calls, dismissed as occupational risks. The killer exploited this, turning routine interactions into deadly traps, his ordinary demeanor masking depravity. The case grew cold, a chilling legend along Long Island's shore. Yet behind the scenes, a task force formed in 2022 quietly pursued leads. In July 2023, a breakthrough. Rex Hoyerman, a 61-year-old architect from Massapequa Park, was arrested. DNA from a discarded pizza crust matched a male hair on victim Megan Waterman's burlap, and hairs linked to Hoyerman's wife, Asa Ellerup, were found on several victims, though she was out of town during the killings and is not implicated. Cell phone records and a witness's account of Hoyerman's Chevrolet Avalanche tied him to the crimes. Hoyerman faces charges for 7 murders. The Gilgo 4, 2007, 2010, Jessica Taylor, 2003, Sandra Costilla, 1993, and Valerie Mack, 2000. Prosecutors allege he used burner phones and a planning document found on his devices, detailing steps to avoid detection, including removing tattoos and using specific dump sites like Mill Road, where Mack's remains were found. His devices also held violent pornography and over 200 searches about the case, suggesting obsession. The arrest stunned Long Island. Neighbors described Hoyerman as quiet, unremarkable, a family man with a wife and 2 children. He was living a double life, one said. His wife filed for divorce post-arrest, but visits him in jail, struggling to believe his guilt. Hoyerman, held without bail at Riverhead Correctional Facility, pleads not guilty, with his attorney challenging DNA evidence and seeking separate trials. The investigation continues. At least 11 sets of remains were found, but not all are identified. Karen Vergata, found in 1996 and 2011, and an unidentified Asian doe remain unlinked to Hoyerman. Prosecutors hint at possible future charges. Hoyerman's 2023 arrest, after years of stalled progress, marks a significant step toward justice driven by DNA advancements and persistent investigation. The evidence, DNA, cell phone data, and his alleged blueprint paints a compelling case. Though his defense's push to separate trials and challenge DNA suggests a complex legal battle ahead, the arrest shattered the community's sense of safety, revealing how a predator hid in plain sight. However, not all victims may be identified. The unidentified remains in uncharged cases, like Vergata's, suggest the killer's scope might extend beyond the 7 charged murders. Ongoing forensic work and public tips could yet uncover the full truth buried in Long Island sands. In the late 1970s, a chilling pattern emerged along the highways of Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas, and beyond. Young women, many with red hair, vanished, their bodies later found discarded near major routes. Dubbed the Redhead Murders, these unsolved homicides, spanning into the 1990s, left a trail of grief and mystery. Lisa Nichols, 28, was found on September 16, 1984, near Interstate 40 in West Memphis, Arkansas, wearing only a sweater. A West Virginia native estranged from her family. She wasn't identified for 9 months. She may have been hitchhiking or leaving a truck stop when she met her killer. Tina Marie McKinney Farmer, 21, vanished from Indianapolis on Thanksgiving 1984, last seen with a trucker heading toward Kentucky. On January 1, 1985, her bound, strangled body was found off Interstate 75 in Jellicoe, Tennessee. Pregnant at the time, Tina remained unidentified for decades until fingerprints confirmed her identity. These women, like others in the Redhead Murders, were vulnerable, often young, red-haired, possibly hitchhiking or involved in sex work. Strangled and dumped along highways, their deaths suggested a calculated killer exploiting their transient lives in the open road. For years, the cases baffled law enforcement. Jurisdictional divides and scarce evidence hindered connections across Tennessee, Arkansas, Kentucky, and other states. Task forces formed, but leads fizzled, leaving families with unanswered questions and victims as Jane Does. The Redhead Murders faded into cold case obscurity until 2018, when a high school sociology class in Elizabethton, Tennessee, reignited hope. Led by teacher Alex Campbell, students analyzed the murders, noting victims' red hair, vulnerability, and proximity to trucking routes. Naming the killer the Bible Belt Strangler for the region's religious heartland, they profiled him as a white male trucker, likely based near Knoxville. Their research broke new ground by linking 6 victims: Lisa Nichols, Tina McKinney Farmer, Michelle Inman, Elizabeth Lamott, Tracy Walker, and one unidentified Jane Doe. They helped identify Tina's killer as Jerry Leon Johns, a trucker who died in prison in 2015. Convicted in 1987 for strangling a prostitute, Johns' DNA matched evidence from Tina's 1985 murder. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation confirmed in 2019 that, if alive, Johns would have been indicted for her death. The students' work featured in their 2018 press conference and the 2024 podcast, Murder 101, brought closure to Tina's family and renewed focus on the cases. Yet the Redhead Murders remain unsolved. with 5 to 14 possible victims, many still unidentified. The Bible Belt Strangler, or perhaps multiple killers, haunts the highways, their full story buried in the shadows. In the early 1990s, a predator struck along the I-70 corridor, targeting small-town store clerks in broad daylight. 6 lives were taken across Indiana, Missouri, and Kansas, each shot with the same .22 caliber weapon. The I-70 killer vanished, leaving no name, no arrest, just lingering fear. He could still be out there, blending into a gas station or diner, waiting. On April 8, 1992, in Indianapolis, Indiana, Robin Fuldauer, a 26-year-old Payless Shoe Source manager, was shot execution-style in the store's back room. The kind, well-liked Indiana University graduate was alone when a man posing as a customer killed her for less than $100. With no security cameras, police relied on sparse physical evidence, making the killer a phantom. 3 days later, on April 11, 1992, in Wichita, Kansas, the killer struck again. Patricia Magers, 32, and Patricia Smith, 23, were shot in the back room of LeBree's Elegant Bridal Shop after staying late for a customer. A man, likely mistaken for the expected client, killed them. The real customer arrived, faced the armed killer, and fled when ordered to leave. His description to police formed the first composite sketch of the I-70 killer. The spree continued with 3 more murders in Indiana and Missouri, each echoing the pattern. Daytime attacks on store clerks, shot with a rare Irma Work .22 caliber pistol. Victims, often petite women with long dark hair, were targeted in quiet towns, turning routine shifts into deadly traps. Little money was taken, suggesting a motive beyond robbery, perhaps a dark fantasy, as the FBI theorized. Indianapolis detective Mike Crook led the investigation into Robin's murder, connecting it to the others. A seasoned investigator, Crook worked with the FBI, chasing leads and analyzing the killer's signature weapon and composite sketch. The random attacks and lack of motive frustrated efforts. Despite tireless work, the killer remained elusive, and Crook retired with the case unsolved. Decades later, the I-70 killer case endures. New detectives use DNA and forensic advancements to pursue justice. The composite sketch and unique gun remain key, but no suspect has been named. The question haunts the Midwest. Is the I-70 killer still out there, hidden in plain sight along the highway, waiting for his next moment?